This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the UK's #1 coral selling website, coral-auctions.co.uk and reefdog.etsy.com for all your 3D printed aquarium accessory needs. What's up, YouTube? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Prestige Reef Dork Show. I am your host, Reef Dork, aka Alex, as most people call me. And with me tonight, I have a very special guest. Normally, we've got just some bloke who sells corals, but he's not here tonight. Tonight, we've got Ryan Marchant from Tideborne Haven.
That's true.
Wow,
I was not expecting that introduction, but
yeah, I know. But this is a big deal. Normally, it's just one bloke, but now it's like, it's Ryan from Tideborne.
Okay.
Wow, Ryan.
You throw me off with the new intro already.
Excuse me. Yeah, it didn't take much, did it? But yeah, so tonight we've got we're going to be talking about the Ryan's made a new game.
I've made a game based around coral farming, reef restoration, and sort of like, fixing the environment.
Okay, fixing the environment. Well,
the environment.
Did you ever watch Captain Planet?
I've heard of it, but I don't remember watching it.
Yeah, I think you're too young. There'll be people in the chat. You've just reminded me of Captain Planet. Captain Planet, he's a hero. Anyway, never mind. But we're going to be talking about that amongst other things.
If this game becomes really famous, people are going to find this live stream.
I know, I did think that. But there we go. Well, that'll be good, because then I'll just get a load of views and suddenly the channel will go up. So
that is
look
true.
forward to that.
That is true.
But how are you? What have you been up to in the world of reefing?
It's been stressful. I'll be honest with you. Stressful. I'm obviously taking on quite a lot at the moment. But the main issue is that the coral farm is actually leaking at the moment. When I say leaking, at the moment, I mean it is still leaking. It's not a fix I'm going to take lightly, let's put it that way, because I have to take some of the pipework apart. Okay. And you know that when you take things apart, sometimes they don't go back together.
Yeah.
So
that sounds. So when you say leaking, are we talking like a tap water coming out or a drip?
I don't actually know how much. It's not bad. Look, it's been happening for a while. I reckon it's been happening probably for at least a month. So it's not significant. The problem is the water drains. Like if water comes out of the tank, it drains down outside. So I actually don't know. But along the wall of the garage, I started to notice that some of the bricks were wet, and this was a little while ago. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, is that just, has that always been like that? And it's just absorbing from the grass or something. And I just couldn't work out what it was. So I kind of just ignored it. And then after a period of time, when it dried out, there's like little white dots on it. And I thought, that looks like salt to me. And now every day, like 30 birds turn up and they eat the salt off the wall. So
really?
Birds seek out salt, but I don't think it's overly good. They're like addicts at the moment. I'm not joking. Yeah. They're these little sparrows and they come back continuously. Or I don't know if it's the same ones, but sometimes there's like 10, 12 of them there at the same time.
That's funny.
And they're eating the salt off the wall. And I looked in the farm ages ago. I was like, I cannot see where this is coming from. And what's happening under one of the tanks, I realized that there's like salt creep around one of the valves, not the valves, one of the the connections that screw apart. Yeah. So it's possible that the seal has failed, and it's just like there were like stalagmites of salt, but you can't see them very well. So I've realized that's where it's coming from.
This must be relatively new, because otherwise you'd have seen it on the wall before.
I did see it on the wall, but I kind of just ignored it. is the honest
right.
answer.
But you what have you had birds pecking at your door?
No, that's
your
only
wall?
recently. That's
Yeah.
I actually think it's the hot weather, because obviously the hot weather dries the wall out, so all the water evaporates,
I
leaves the
see.
salt. But they are literally there all day, and I googled it. I'm like, is this good for birds? And birds do need salt, and they lack it in their diet apparently.
Yeah.
But too much of it is not good for them. So I just wonder if they're like addicted to it now.
Okay.
And I also wonder if it's the same birds that come back, or if they like fly off and then just my neighbor
Die.
just has like a pile of them in
Yeah.
her garden. I don't. That's not happening. I'm just joking, obviously.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
But it's
So,
only one type. It's only sparrows that are doing it. So
oh, really? That's funny.
yeah, Rachel put a little bowl of water out there because she wondered if they would if they were thirsty, so they wanted to drink the water, but they're not interested in the bowl of water. They only want the salt.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said to her, we should probably get a bird feeder.
Yeah.
Like, because it's quite enjoyable to watch. Like, just as I said, sometimes there's like 12 little birds just like pecking on the wall.
You're not supposed to feed birds in the summer, though.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not going to get a bird feeder anyway. But I actually already have a bird feeder. But
Right.
I mean, in front of the like this window.
Just put a load of salt in front of the window and then
Yeah.
come over. Yeah.
Just to clarify for everyone listening, do not put salt in front of the window. That's not what birds want.
Birds in, so it is what they want. Sparrows.
But it's just funny. I said to Rachel, it's like they're on cocaine. They come back like time and time again. So yes. So the wall is currently completely dry, but that's obviously because it's been hot today. But I'm just, as I said, I'm hesitant about taking it apart, because sometimes when you take something apart, especially if it's not been touched for like 5 years, it can make the situation much worse. So I am going to fix it, but I'm going to take that job on when I've got someone else with me and when I've got a spare valve.
This also feels like the sort of job you don't like to do. This
Yes.
feels like this is very much not a Ryan job.
It's not that. I mean, that is true, but it's more the fact that, like, I know what goes wrong when a pipe cracks. If you like over tighten it or twist it or something like that, I genuinely, I would rather, like, part of me wants to seal it up with coral glue.
Yeah.
Just put coral, so I'll never be able to open the valve again. But I don't plan to. I can't see why I would ever need to. Right. Because the only way that system is coming apart is if I'm moving house and it's being like, I will be cutting the pipe. I have to, probably, because it won't go back in exact. Do you see what I mean? It won't go back in exactly the same like order.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's happening with that. But the interesting thing, which I told you just before the live stream, is the salinity is not changing. So the salinity stays exactly the same. So the what's happening is water leaks out really, really slowly. It must be like hardly anything. Mm-hmm. And then the auto top up puts fresh water back in. But when you dose corals, the combination of calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium creates salt. So which increases the salinity, and then obviously that. So basically, I've developed a system to automatically keep your salinity in check while dosing.
So Tropic Marin Balling Classic is based on that principle. And the third bottle, if you dose Tropic Marin Balling Classic, the third bottle you dose, I think it's just chloride. Is it chloride or sodium? Because your system creates sodium or chloride, but not the other. So you need to add the other to balance out. So that's basically what you've done. You've done Hans Werner Balling. He spent like decades worth studying and learning the science.
This is how he worked out. He was watching sparrows on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. That is, to be fair, that's the kind of thing. That's like the Einstein with an apple on his head, whatever moment, isn't it?
But as I said, I will fix it when I need someone to help me just in case, and I also want to order probably new seals and stuff like that, because if you take something apart and it doesn't go back on, you got a problem. I
mean, Isaac Newton, not Albert Einstein.
I didn't notice. So
I was thinking. Hang on a second. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So did you say how much is dripping? You say you can't see.
I've not actually seen it drip. I just know it is dripping because of the salt. And if I touch it, it's wet. So when I cleared the salt off, which I was like, is this a bad idea? Because is this like the dam that's But I needed to see how bad it was, so I dried it all off, and it's back, but it's so like it's damp, but you can't really tell.
Can you see all of the plumbing from?
You can't get to it. I can see all the plumbing, but you can't get to it very easily.
Okay,
it's one of those jobs where you've got to be like that. Where you have to really try to get around to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy to fix, but we'll see. I'll wait till I got help and then I'll do it. But as I said, I could go from having a problem that's not really a problem to having a problem that's a real problem.
Yeah. If can you film that, because that would be really funny. I'm sorry.
No,
it's just
no.
Think of the views.
No, it's funny because you think like those are the sort of things that you film, and sure, if you're like Polo's Reef, who has a huge following, then by all means, and not a huge following, a huge like film crew, an editor, like by all means, go for it. But when you're doing it yourself, or you're putting pressure, or someone else is doing it, and you're like, then all of a sudden you've got a camera on them, you're putting pressure on them. I'd rather just not do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, Ryan, I will come over and I will film you that day for free.
Yeah.
Just so I can, we can keep this so everyone can enjoy it.
Yeah. My friend's house got destroyed. Watch this video.
Yes. Yeah.
Love it.
I just wonder how, if it did crack, how bad it would be. I mean, there's weird boxes, but it's more of the fact that all of the systems are connected to those. It's in the weird box, and all of the systems are connected to that weird box. So if the weird box breaks, I got a massive problem.
Okay.
that will put that whole system out of action.
And that system is currently full of corals, I take it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely not a choice I'll take lightly. So ask me again in a year's time, and I'll be like, yeah, the sparrows are loving it still.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, so apart from the farm being on the verge of collapse,
I have one other update. The water box has a new fish, and it is a little tiny box fish. So it was in quarantine. I mentioned it last week. I think that I had one, but it's been through quarantine now, and it has gone into the water box, and it is fine. It's a little bit shy. Rachel, it was actually Rachel who picked the fish. I can't remember if I told people last week. I took Rachel to the wholesaler, and I said, you can pick any fish. Did I tell? I can't remember. So you can pick any fish you want because it's your birthday. And she picked a 14-inch Emperor Angel. Yeah. So I quickly then had to backtrack. When I say any fish you want, it's actually any fish that I want.
Yeah, exactly.
But we settled. She wanted a small Emperor. There was a few a massive puff fish, but we settled on a pea-sized box fish. And it's doing well. It's doing well. It's a little bit secretive because it's so small. It must be like, who are these giants? But yeah.
Yeah. So mine's out and about all the time now. But yeah, they're tiny, aren't they? Absolutely ridiculous.
But yours is a much. It's not as busy, your tank, is it?
No, it's a very, very quiet tank indeed. He's got one friend basically. Yeah. But
what about you? Anything exciting to report?
So the weather is excellent. So I've been out on the bike a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a member question later, but it's about motorbikes. So I've answered it in the comment, but I'm not going to answer it on the live stream because otherwise everyone will just turn off.
Yes.
But yeah, no. So I did. Weirdly, I've been. So my calcium's really low at the moment. So yesterday I mixed up a batch of. There's an online calculator, and it said my calcium's 390, really low. So I said, look, my calcium is 390. My tank is 700 liters. I want it to be 440. How much calcium hydroxide dehydrate? I can't remember. Calcium carbonate? Calcium? I can't remember.
How much calcium?
Yeah, bulk calcium powder. How much do I need? And I measured that out, and I've put it on a doser to dose it over 4 days or something. Basically, I think probably 4 days is too cautious. I reckon I could do it twice as quick as that, but I might as well wait. But it's just I've got some problems in the tank. I had a hammer die the other day, a hammer strip and die, and I was like, ooh. Yeah,
that's pretty unusual.
Do you know, I've found hammers to be one of my most temperamental corals. I've had
that's something you're doing wrong.
for sure it is, yeah. But I've had I've probably lost more hammers than I've lost torch coals.
That is
But
interesting because it's usually the other way around by miles.
Exactly. The one weird thing is that they're all on one side of the tank, and I was like, well, maybe one of the lights is malfunctioning and it's more intense, or maybe there's something going on over there. But I don't think it's just water chemistry, to be honest. But anyway, one thing because I'm dosing kalkwasser, that's my main dosing, and I've got with kalkwasser you can only dose as much as you lose fresh water to evaporation each day. So if you lose 5 liters of fresh water in evaporation per day, you can dose 5 liters of kalkwasser, but no more. And on my SPS tank, I reached the limit very, very quickly. I lost I think it was about 4 liters of evaporation per day. And because it's acros, they suck up a load of calcium and alkalinity. Yeah. And I got to that limit pretty quick. I didn't think I was going to get to that limit at all with an LPS tank, but I have. And now I lose about 6 liters per day to evaporation, and I've hit that limit now. So I've had to go out and buy today. I went to buy a bottle of alkalinity, so I can just dose alkalinity to keep up.
See, I've never dosed calc, so I actually don't really. I didn't know that was a thing that there's a limit with regards to evaporation. I suppose it would be because obviously otherwise you'll be lowering the salinity, wouldn't you?
Exactly. Yeah.
And you've been telling me to use this on the farm, and you have hit your limit on a little tank.
Yeah, but that's fine. You just dose on top of that.
Yeah, that's true actually. Oh yeah, because you're talking about pH.
Exactly, because that's what all like ACI aquaculture, tidal gardens, all that lot. They've got more corals than me. Yeah, and they do the exact same thing. If they lose 100 liters of fresh water to evaporation per day, they just dose 100 liters of calc, and then they dose the rest of it with whatever 2 parts they choose. So.
Okay.
That's really common, and that's what I did on the acro tank, but I didn't expect to hit a limit on an LPS tank. I've got a few SPS in there now, to be fair, no acros, but relatively fast growing. But I still didn't expect to hit the limit. So I don't know if it's because summer and I'm getting less evaporation, maybe.
Sure, you get more evaporation in the summer.
I think it varies, but I've never actually sat down and worked out. To be fair, I could do that because on the Red Sea app for the auto top off, it tracks it tells you how much water you lose to evaporation day to day. So I could put up the last 12 months of data and tell you. Obviously, it'll fluctuate from day to day, but I could tell you roughly what does more. I'm just not going to. But anyway.
Did you have any issues with the heat recently?
No, actually.
Even the water box getting slightly too hot.
Yeah, so the hottest it got was 26. So I think it's sat at 25. I think it got up to about 26, maybe a tiny bit higher than 26. But I don't think it was even that. Even my little nano tank with the puffer and the box fish in it, that only got up to 27, and that's right by a window. But I haven't got a fan on that to evaporative cool it. So
one of my customers, and they sent me a picture because they went out and got a like a special air conditioning unit for the tank. I'm not sure if it was 34 or 32 degrees their tank got to.
Bloody hell!
I know. It has got corals in it. I said, is everything okay? And they're like, yeah, it's just the leathers are a bit annoyed.
I bet they are.
That is crazy. I suppose if you think about it, is that the sort of corals that would be high up in like tide pools and stuff?
Maybe. That's still, I'm surprised.
Look, trust me, I'm surprised as well.
Yeah.
I thought is your part of me wondered if the temperature was correct, but that's pretty far out. If the temperature is incorrect, then it must always be incorrect when it's at like 25 degrees. It must actually be at like, I don't know, 20 degrees. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
So
that's really high. In the chat, what's the highest your tank has got to the last week or so? Because in the UK we've had a bit of a heat wave. Last weekend was really hot. My main tank is now all set up, and it runs pretty easily, and it's just I never have any issues with heat. But when it gets really hot, like it did the other day, and when I say really hot, I mean for the UK, we're talking 32 degrees centigrade. What's that? 90 something, 32C in F. That is 90, yeah. So it's probably, that's like cold by like Australian or Texan standards. But anyway, so my tank is fine. It's just I put a fan up. I've got a bank of 4 PC fans, but they're like super powerful. When you turn them up to full blast, they're really noisy. But I just put them up, and then it keeps the tank cool. When it gets really hot, I open all the cabinet doors to ventilate the cabinet, and also I close all of the blinds in the room and close all of the windows. It's funny, sometimes people open windows when it gets really hot, but that just lets hotter air in. So if it's cooler outside than it is inside, then by all means open your windows, but otherwise don't. But anyway, that's been fine for the main tank. But the little tank, the TMC First Wave 78, that would have been potentially quite bad. 27 is already, it's not a problem, but it's higher than I would like. And there's no corals in there really. But I turned the light off because that made a difference, to be fair. And I actually have kept the light off since then, but I turned the light off when it was that really hot weekend. Yeah. Because I was like, if I leave that on, it's just going to get much, much hotter, which is bad. Yeah. So I just turned the light off.
We are hopeless when it gets ever so slightly warm in England. So Rachel and I have been sleeping downstairs in the living room because there's air conditioning downstairs for the fish tank, but there's no air conditioning upstairs. So we just moved downstairs.
That's mad.
Yeah. Because some of my customers turned up and they're like, "Are you in the doghouse?" I'm like, "No," and she's like, "Because there's a bed in your living room." Because we had a blow up bed for a week, but it's all right. All the Australians are just shaking their head.
You live in a new build as well, so they're supposed to be good with insulation.
They're good with being really, really hot and not letting that heat go for weeks.
Right. So I had, on my first house was a new build. I can't remember what it was like in the summer. I don't remember it being unbearable, but maybe it was.
Yeah, it's unbearable. But you save money in the winter but then you have to have air conditioning in the summer. So it's like it gives with one hand and takes away with the other.
Yeah. We have 28.4 is the record so far in the chat.
Okay. Someone else is going to be like 28.5 just to be the next record holder.
No one's beating 32 though.
That is true.
32. Yeah, spicy. But it's going to be cooler after today. Today was the last day of heat.
And all the English people like this, phew, bring back the rain.
Yeah.
And then we'll be moaning about the rain.
I've loved the last couple of weekends of heat, though. It's just been so nice. It really has. But yes, so we've got, it'll cool down a little bit from this. What else have I been up to? I went over to, I said I went out on the bike. Yesterday I went to Swindon. Yeah. Which is, on paper, not the most glamorous destination in the world. But actually, firstly, Swindon and like the areas around Swindon anyway are really nice. I didn't realise. I just assumed Swindon was nothing special. It was lovely. But there's a shop over there called Raise the Reef, which is a new shop. So the guy's been running for a little while, but he's just moved to a new place within a garden centre.
He sells on the Coral Auction site, doesn't he?
He does indeed.
Yeah.
Ash, his name is. So I went over to see them. It was his first weekend, so it was it's all brand new basically, and he's building up slowly. But I went over to that place. That was a new shop, and if I was closer, that would be my go-to, because I don't think there's anything else around there at all. Yeah. Basically, Southwest Marines used to be around, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that's now just mostly koi or all koi.
Don't know. I actually heard of a new shop. Actually, someone told me the other day. 1 second, let me see if I can find it.
Oh, a new
Reef
shop.
Experience. Have you heard of Reef Experience?
I feel like I have.
Ooh. Yes, they spoke very highly of them. So,
who spoke highly of them?
One of my customers.
Durham, bloody hell, mate. Do you know where Durham is?
Nope.
It is a long way away from you and I. 286 miles.
There you go.
But there you go. There's a new shop called the Reef Experience. If you live up north. Reed up north as well. There's loads of shops up north. It's not really fair, is it? We don't really have that down south.
True.
We've got a handful, but they've definitely got.
You should start one.
No, I should not at all. I can't think of a worse idea.
Yeah, no, I agree. Not for me, especially at the moment. I feel I think it's tough out there for people at the moment. I genuinely think it's tough out there,
especially if you're reef only coming into the summer, because we've sort of said loads of times, all the shops that do well over the summer do freshwater, because reefing gets quieter. So, but no, I don't. I've toyed with, well, not toyed with. I've thought about what it would be like to run a shop in the past, but I think yeah, I just don't think it's for me.
Then I wake up in a cold sweat like this.
Yeah, exactly. Hard work.
I think you've
got to love it.
I think you have to love it, and I think there's some people that really love it. Ed, I think, loves it.
Yeah,
I think he has it set up perfectly where he has a group of really, really good people around him. They've been there for a long time. Or I believe they've been there. Some of them have definitely been there for a long time, and everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone knows, and it's just set up just right. And I think you can tell with shop, but I think the thing that helps with that one is that it's a big shop, because if you've got a big shop, you have enough. There's enough people around. You can't run a small shop with 10 people. There's not enough. You can't have enough turnover. But if you've got a big shop with fresh water and everything like that, then I think it helps.
Yeah, I'm sure you get problems running bigger shops as well.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
That you don't have with smaller places. But yeah, to have, that's the dream, is because on a warm weekend like this, especially on a bank holiday, apparently everybody goes out digging ponds. So you want to be able to sell pond liner and koi or whatever when it gets hot, and freshwater does well in summer. And then the winter when us lot come out of the woodwork.
Have you ever had a pond?
No.
See, I had one when I was younger. So we moved into a house that had it was a gigantic pond. This was a swimming pool, bigger than a swimming pool sized pond. It was already at the house that had koi carp in it that were cute, full adults.
Yeah.
The owner had obviously just got some small ones, and they weren't special or anything like that. It was just someone who obviously had a passion for it, built a massive pond, put a load of koi in it, and then left.
Wow.
And I know now that they weren't anything special, but when you're a kid and you're like, these are massive and they're all different colors, and but that I actually think that partly what sort of got me a little bit into enjoying fish. And that I was probably about 10 or 12. No, 12 I would have been then. And then when I was older, when I was 16, 17, we had another house that had a pond as well. And I bought 50 koi carp for £1.50 each off eBay. They were this big.
Tiny in each.
They were tiny. And they were so small I couldn't put them in the pond. I put them in a fish tank. But I put the fish tank outside, and I raised these little koi until they were big enough to go into the pond. Which I now realize, if you think about it, if people breed koi carp, and then naturally, they obviously don't eat the babies. So maybe they would have been all right.
Well, I'm going to show you a photo of a koi. You tell me how much you think this one sold for.
That's going to be a lot of miles. It wouldn't be on the news. I'm going to say 2 million.
$1.8 million.
That was good. That wasn't, well, I was talking about in pounds, but that was pretty close.
But for I mean, no offense, but for that,
yeah,
it's a big koi. I'll give you that. But $2 million, you crazy?
Do you know what makes them special? I believe this is the amount. This is definitely not 100% correct, but one of the things that they look for is to have perfect scales, where the red scales and the white scales are not interlocked.
Right.
So that's one of the things, and they want big ones and the shape of them. I think I'm not a koi person, so there'll be people shaking their head at the moment.
Well, that is the koi. I don't know why.
Do you see how pristine those colors are? That's what.
No,
they don't bleed into each other.
If you're the person who bought this fish and you're watching,
get a marine tank.
I'm very sorry, but that's that's mad to me. I don't know what I expected, but I don't know, bright color or something. I don't know. That's just
but
weird.
There'll be two reasons. There's one of two reasons. Firstly, either the person is a multi-billionaire probably, and so money doesn't matter, and he just wants to have the best fish in the world, or not the best, the most expensive fish, or they have bought that to breed, because then all the thousands and tens of thousands of babies that come from it, each of them will be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we should get into koi
fool and
breeding.
his money are easily parted.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. Anyway, so I can't remember where this started, but we've apparently
But we were talking about how hot it is, and then it went on to koi somehow.
hashtag koi dork. I just want to touch on one last thing. So this was last week. We had Amy does some stuff on,
Yeah.
and the thumbnail was she sent me a photo of just a photo of her basically,
Yeah.
and that was the thumbnail. And then after the stream, she said, "Oh, could you remove the background?" I was like, "Yeah, no problem." And then I went on to I've got a background remover app I've been using for years. Sometimes it's brilliant, but it can be a bit hit and miss. And this time when I put that into the background remover, it didn't do a very good job. It goes jaggedy round hair for some reason. So obviously for me it's fine, but it was rubbish. So I was like, okay, fine, let's put it into ChatGPT, and I'll say, ChatGPT, just because we all know that AI is brilliant, and you know how much I love AI. So I was like, well, let's get Chat to do it. So I put the photo into Chat, and the instruction was something like, remove the background from this photo so you can only see the girl. That was it. Literally nothing else. And it came back, and it did the background brilliantly. Thank you. Wicked. Good job. But then it decided that also I wanted to completely change the way she looks. And it was like the prompt was, remove the background and give her a full makeover and glam up and like make it. It's like, what are you doing? I literally didn't ask that. Why have you done that?
I'm intrigued by why you're saying this, though. Has someone said something?
No, it's just I just hate AI. And I was looking at I've just been looking at the thumbnail for today, and I've used my background removing app, and you can see around your hair there's a little bit of whiteness.
Well, you should have made it look me better. You should have said, "Oh, can you also glam up Ryan?"
But for that sort of thing, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But when I did it last week, it was awful. But I did wonder if ChatGPT would be able to do a better job, but it turns out it can't.
Well,
it was ridiculous. It was like, ugh. And actually, but it was funny because then you said, "Oh, I'll have a go," and
I did it with ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly. And it was what was your prompt?
I literally just wrote, "Keep the girl exactly the same, or keep the woman, keep Amy exactly the same,"
and it still didn't.
And I know it pretty much did. I think it's
I think it was halfway between nothing and mine. Yeah, it was, because when you sent me that your thumbnail, I thought you just sent me mine.
No, I know. Well,
but it's like, just do what I've asked you. You work for me here, all right?
Yeah, I actually saw something yesterday where someone said, how can you hear me okay? And it said yes. He said, I'm gonna walk a mile away. And then a second later he went, oh, okay, I walked a mile away. Can you still hear me? And it went, you're very quiet at the moment, but I can just about hear you. I'm like, you're just lying.
I don't understand.
So it asked ChatGPT if it could hear him, because you can talk to it.
Right.
And then he told it he was going to walk a mile away, which obviously he didn't.
Yeah.
And then asked it again, and it went, oh, actually, you're really, really quiet. But so it was lying to him.
Right. Okay. It was, but isn't that just playing along with the game? Because it's obvious.
No, I think it was just making stuff. I think it was just making stuff up.
Right. I see. Yeah.
Because he did it. He continued to do it like further and further distance.
Right. Where was this? Sorry, did you see this on?
It was just on. It was on YouTube.
Instagram. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I just hate it. To be fair,
you're worried it's coming for your job.
No, it's not. It's not coming for my job. But to be fair, it did a really good job of the background. It's just like, if you just stay in your lane, mate, and do what I tell you. You know. Anyway, all right. So that is. I haven't got anything else that I've been up to. So we'll move on. I'm assuming you're the same, and we will move on to member questions. First one was from the Crusade, and that was the motorbike question. If you are a member and you want to see my answer, it's a question about my motorbike shed and a BMW GS. You can click on the thing and look, but I won't do motorbike questions on this because everybody will hate it. Give me half a chance, I'll talk about it all day long. The other one is from Bish Bash Ash, who says he's just found a gunny that he totally forgot that he bought about 6 months ago, and it's been hiding behind his rocks. Have you had anything that you've forgotten buying miraculously reappearing? So that's the sort of thing that I think you would remember if it's just happened, but it might well have happened and I just don't remember. But I regularly buy a coral, it'll get knocked off. I'll put it in place, it'll get knocked off by a fish or the flow or whatever, and I see it, and I'm like, oh god, gotta put my hand in the tank now. It's right at the bottom, so I'm gonna get my armpit wet. And I don't know. And then 6 months later, it's still there. And eventually, I'm like, oh, I should probably move that.
Have you ever had it where you have a coral that you don't want anymore, and this is mostly sort of, I would say, soft corals, and you go, okay, I'll just put it down the back, and just so you don't see it anymore. I'm like, that's a tomorrow problem. and I did that with, I can't remember.
But if you're going to put it back, if you're going to put it out of the way, why not get it out?
Because then you have, this was years ago. This was when I first started, and you have to have people come over, and like I didn't want it. It's funny because that's my job now. But so I would, because I had, when you have like, I was like a rock wall, and I would put it down the back of the rock wall so you couldn't see it, if you see what I mean. But it still got light and everything. It wasn't dying, but I just remember like once I broke that tank down, and I was just like, there was just all of this like green star polyps and Seriatopora, like huge pieces. I'm like, I never even knew this was here.
Was that in your 6 foot tank? Was it 6 foot?
Yes, I've had a few 6 foot tanks. I can't remember exactly which one it was.
Okay.
But yeah, I've done that. I've done that literally loads of times.
I've never hidden a coral.
Have you know? Yeah, I've definitely done that. I just, as I said, I couldn't bother to move it out. I just sort of put it out the way. That's it. Right. You can't do it so much anymore because the aquascape is a bit different. They're all minimalistic now, whereas before you should just have this big wall.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, pretty much. I reckon there's plenty of people that have corals they don't want that they kind of just ignore and go, oh, I'll just do it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But I wouldn't, if I'm going to put my hand in the tank and do something with it, I'm not going to put it out of the way so it's I can't see it. I'd put it at the front of the tank, so then when the weekend comes, I can whip out and take it to my local fish shop. Or something. But you were just like, no, it's going.
No, I'm like, green star polyps, you going at the back.
Okay. I want to see your house when you move out then in that case. I wonder if you've done the same. You bet you have done the same thing. And like behind your bed and your sofa, you've just got a load of junk or whatever. You're like, can't be asked to hoover today.
Well, you see my house, it's like pristine most of the time. Whenever you see it, it's pristine, isn't it?
But it's only pristine.
Cupboard, it's like, if you look at the cupboard, it's like falls out.
It's only pristine because I tell you that I'm coming and then you spend 6 days cleaning.
That's true. That's true.
So this is why I'm saying I guarantee that like you'll move your sofa out of the way and there'll be like the skeleton of a pet you forgot you had or something you've neglected.
They'll be under the fish tank. There'll be like just things I've like lids or something that I've just like tucked underneath. Yeah. Under the stand, totally fine. I'll worry about that in 5 years when I move.
Exactly. But there we go. So they are the member questions, and with member questions completed, that means we are on to the headline topic.
Okay.
Which today it's reef related, but it's a reefing game. So Ryan, hang on. What you got?
A little bit. It's weird because I actually have been felt more stressed about this live stream than any live stream we've ever done before. And I think the reason is, like, when you work on something for so long, and I've pretty much kept it a secret until I think I first released the trailer on the 1st of May. So it's only been a few weeks or a month now that people have known about it. But you have this like baby and you're like about to show it to the world. And for whatever reason, it made me like, I'm very defensive of it. And it's very personal, if you see what I mean to me. So I'm not joking. I have been nervous for this live stream all day. And then obviously once it started, it was just like, oh, it's just a normal live stream.
Yeah.
But where would you like to start?
Well, so you've given me a list of questions, but first off, from my own point of view, because I don't play games.
Okay.
So this is a reef-based game, right?
Yes.
So, but what kind of game is it? Is it PlayStation? Is it on an app?
Okay. So there's all different ways of playing games, and generally speaking, when games become really popular, they go on all of them. So, but the majority of games which are made by a very small team go on to a computer, because that's the easiest. They're the easiest ones to make games for.
Okay. So desktop, computer, laptop, whatever. Yes,
desktop, computer, laptop, and then based on the success of that, it will then move on to the Nintendo Switch, and then eventually onto mobile. So I have big plans. Mobile is is that there's different complications with each of the different platforms you want to put it on, which is why you do one first and then you generate money from that one to then get it moved on to the others. It's not as simple as just clicking a button going, yep, it's fine, just go on the others. But yeah, it's a computer game.
Shall I play a little clip?
You can play a clip or
yeah, there we go. I'm playing the clip.
oh.
So this is if you
it's really like jumpy. I think it's your internet.
Yeah. So it's smooth on my screen, but anyway.
That's why I sent you the pictures, because I think it was probably easier to show the pictures. But yeah. It is a there's different genres of games. So some people like shooting games, some people like management games, and people's lives are so stressful these days that a new genre of games has been developed, which is known as cozy games. So they are basically relaxing games that you can sit and you can play for 20 minutes. I know you don't play, but there'll be plenty of people that will play like Candy Crush is actually can be stressful, I think, but they're games that are relaxing. You play them like 20 minutes at a time, or you can play them for 2 hours at a time. And they are generally based around some form of restoration. And 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, in fact, almost every time, it is based around a farm, some sort of farming game where people, do you remember things like Farmville? I don't know if you remember that when
I've heard of Farmville, yeah.
Where people will grow crops and then they will sell the crops for money and they build a bigger and bigger farm. And I just thought, why has no one done anything different in this genre? Every single one of these games are basically the same. And some people have done different styles. So some people have made them prehistoric, for example, or in space or whatever, but it's always around farming. Always farming vegetables. And it's a game that there's a game that's quite similar to this that Rachel and I played. And I think we played, and I actually don't play games that often, but I think we played for like 200 hours. That is a lot of days of my life if you think about it. But it was just great to interact. And the other thing that made them popular was COVID, because everyone was stuck inside and they all wanted to live a different life. So that's where this new genre has come from.
So it's a variation on a theme that's been around for a while, though. So there was, like, when I used to play games a lot, like console games anyway in particular, there was a game on the PlayStation?
Mega PlayStation. Oh my God, you really don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the Nintendo Mega
Drive or the PlayStation.
No, it was the Nintendo Mega Station Wii.
Okay,
I think it was on the Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah.
And it was called Theme Park. Do you have Theme Park?
I remember Theme Park.
And it was like this. It was like a top-down, building a theme park. And there was a game called Civilization as well, where you build. It was like back in.
I know Civilization.
Yeah, exactly. You build a civilization, and then there was Command and Conquer, which is you build a war base. The difference with some of those is that with the Civilization, you get like plagues of people, plagues wiping out half of your population, and with Command and Conquer, it was about death and killing everyone.
So those are more stress-related games.
Stress-inducing. This is stress.
Stress-inducing games.
Yeah.
Whereas these are designed to put people into a state of, like, as I said, relaxation. You play this, you don't think about what you've done with your day. The music is usually very relaxing, even down to like the sound effects are designed for do you know what ASMR? Yeah. So the sound effects are designed around that. So it's interesting because this will come up as a theme. So people that have ADHD, and I am one of those people. I don't know if I've actually been diagnosed with it. So there's plenty of people that assume they have it, but I obviously assumed I did, but I've actually been diagnosed with it. And things like ASMR actually affect those people. And Amy does some stuff, also has ADHD, and I send her the sounds, and she's like, they make you feel relaxed. So she's like my test dummy sometimes with some of the things that I send her. But yeah, so all of these games are entirely based around relaxing and just non-stressful. So I just thought a better way of, so if one of the most popular games, as I said, is around a farm, in fact all of them are farms, and I just thought, well, if you can build a game around restoring a farm 1,000 times, why can't you build a game around restoring an ecosystem? And that was where Tideborne was born.
Coral Reef.
Basically. Obviously I have a coral farm, so I feel like someone was like, do you think anyone's going to copy you? I'm like, I don't think many other people have coral farms. So,
well, there's a question in the chat. Looking forward to seeing this, but do you think it will appeal to anyone besides reefers? I actually don't think it will be specifically appealing to reef keepers.
I don't think it will be appealing to reef keepers at all, if I'm honest. It's like, don't get me wrong, some people, I'll tell you. So I put the trailer out. The trailer on YouTube has had 172,000 views. On TikTok, it's had 572,000. On Instagram, it's 340,000, and 24,000 people have signed up to play the game once it's released. So I believe that it has the possibility of being successful. Do I think it will be successful for reefers? I think the cross, you know, like when you get two circles and you get one that's reefers and one that's gamers, and then you put them together, the middle bit, I reckon, is quite small. I know the spiritual reefer, for example, who's just come in the chat, is looking forward to play. He's actually followed, he's followed the progression of the game for quite a while. And I think he was actually one of the first people I spoke to about it, as well. So it's so I don't think it's going to be appealing to reefers, but I think it will be appealing to some reefers. It will be appealing to reefers' children's. is the plan.
So that's exactly my my impression. And actually, just on the point of YouTube and all that sort of stuff. So the most recent one, you've put an extended trailer up yesterday, I think.
Yes, that was yesterday.
So the main video was the official launch trailer.
Yeah.
This is from a channel that didn't exist a month ago, so no videos on it.
There was 0 followers, not a single one.
160,000 views, and you've now got 2,700 followers, subscribers.
So I said to Alex before the game started, before the stream started, I said, we are in the wrong category for YouTube. You might get 10,000 views on a video if it goes well, maybe, or if sometimes even higher, but generally between 5 and 10,000. And then basically, I think it took a week for that to, because I think that trailer's only been out for 2 weeks, I think. But yeah, so I do think there is something there. And the other thing, the game channel, my life is about watching numbers at the moment. The store that sells the game tells you how you're doing compared to other games that are unreleased, and most people are not even on the chart, and I am currently 1,800, which is out of thousands of games. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I do think it has a possibility of being something quite significant. Is the answer to that question. So
it's a like a relaxing chill out kind of game. It's on, for the moment, it's on PC and Mac.
It's only being designed for PC at the moment.
Okay. And it's on so there's a Kickstarter starting, but this is on Steam.
I'm talking to the wrong person, aren't I? It is on Steam. So the game is currently on Steam, which is where you can wishlist it. Wishlisting is where you basically say, I'm interested. But I am doing a Kickstarter for the game now. Lots of very, very successful games. Creating a game is incredibly expensive. I'll be honest with you, I'm basically £22,000 into this, and that's not £22,000 I just had lying around, if you see what I mean. That is just just constantly trying to believe that this is the right thing to do. But a game of this size is over £100,000. So I lots of games put out a Kickstarter where people pre-order the game, and then in a year or a year and a half, you then provide them with the game. So it's pretty common. Imagine if there was a movie that you wanted to see. What's your favorite movie?
I don't know, Gladiator.
Okay, now there's already a Gladiator 2. Now imagine if there was going to be Gladiator 3, and they went, look, we will make Gladiator 3 for you, but if you help fund it, you'll be like, actually, yeah, I'll do that for you. You might not want to Gladiator 3, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you get, so basically people go, I will support this project.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is something that people can do. There is it doesn't cost you anything, but it will be a massive help to me. So Kickstarter basically works with has an algorithm like YouTube, and it works with engagement. And Alex has put in the description, I believe, of the video,
And
the
it's a
link,
pinned comment in the chat.
it's a pinned comment, a link for the Kickstarter. All I need you to do is go onto that page and click follow. That is it. It doesn't cost anything. Alex, you did it yesterday, I think, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yes, because what will happen is the algorithm for Kickstarter will go, oh, this is an interesting project. Lots and lots of people are interested. We will share this with more people.
Yeah.
So, and trust me, I need all the help I can get to get this off the ground. This is the craziest idea.
Yeah. Look, if this stream and podcast gets watched by 5,000 or 6,000 people and they all clicked on it, then yeah, great. But you've said that before to me. You need all the help you can get. I actually don't think you do, and I think the number of people that sign up because you ask them to will be tiny. And it's actually already just on it completely off its own back from people genuinely being interested.
Yeah.
That's got you 1,500 followers. This will get you like 100.
I know what you
mean,
mean, but you have to, for me, you have to realize that this is like, imagine doing your driving test where you you train for ages, and you're like, you do everything you possibly can on the day. You sleep the night before, you like don't do anything stupid in the morning, you to do that test. This is, as I said, this is a ton of work, a ton of money, and the thing is, you have no idea if this will work until Tuesday. Tuesday, and this has become everything to me. Absolutely, it's interesting because I've actually, like, you can see how energized I've become while discussing it. Because this is, as I said, it's everything. It is everything, and if it doesn't get funded, I will. The other thing that it's hard to explain really, but you put yourself out there, if you see what I mean. You go, I'm doing this thing, this is what I'm going to do. And with Kickstarter, basically it's all or nothing. You either get the total money or you get nothing.
So if you got a pound short of the total, it fails.
Yes, if you get a pound short, if I get a pound short, I'm gonna be like, Alex, can you put a pound in, please?
What's it worth? I know how much this is worth.
yeah. I'm like, it's worth. Like, I'll give you £2 in return. And no one wants to put. It kind of reminds me of, like, if you walk up to a woman in the street, or if you're not in the street, or like out, and you go, are you seeing anyone? Yeah, you put yourself on the line for rejection. Whereas with this, it's like very, very public rejection. You will know. My family will know. Everyone who follows. Now, in the reality is, because I have had this discussion with people, like, and most people say, who cares if it doesn't work? Because the reality is, most people don't even try. So the fact that you put yourself out there and tried something is enough.
Yeah. To get this far and to actually have, like that video I played earlier, if you go on the Tideborne Haven YouTube channel and watch it properly, so it's not stuttery because of my Wi-Fi, that's not just an idea you've had and maybe this would work. This is months of this is the final result. So most people would be like, oh, bloody hell, fair play, mate. I didn't think you'd get anywhere near that. You've given it a red hot crack.
It might literally, I turn it on and it gets £1,000 over a month, and I'll be like, well, that didn't work, did it?
but that's the thing. You would feel differently because you've put a lot into it.
So, that's so nice, Lizzie. You said all your fans are proud of you, even for trying. Look, one way or another, I will get this launched. One way or another. Someone just said, do you click the notify when launched, not the follow button. That's correct. Sorry. I made the same mistake in the video I put out. One way or another, I will get this done. It just depends on the time frame. Obviously, if it gets funded, it makes things much easier, makes my life easier, like in terms of it's less stressful, and I can like go full steam ahead into it. But if it doesn't, then I will find another way. They'll do it slower, and you might get it in 5 years' time. So, but one way or another, I'm going to get this done.
Okay.
Because it's one of those things where you go, I've come this far. The sunk cost fallacy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
you're a gambling addict, basically.
Yeah. It was more of the fact that, like, most people only found out about this, as I said, a month ago. I know you've known it pretty much from the beginning, to be fair. But you never know how people are going to react until you do it. So you put an entire years of worth of work thinking. That's been the biggest struggle. I know one of the questions I asked you, but we don't need to do the question because it's sort of just flowing. But one of the biggest challenges that I've had is my own self-confidence, where you go, where you have to convince yourself that you're not being an idiot. And then every day you think you're being an idiot. So, and look, don't get me wrong. It's been tough, because the other thing is you have to, I would say that my parents weren't overly, I have great parents. They're very supportive on lots and lots of ways, but they didn't understand this. So they weren't overly supportive. So on one hand, you have to have confidence in yourself, but on the other hand, you have to like have a shield to, like, when people are going, this is probably not a good idea. You have to have a shield to go, like, to ignore that, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but interestingly, now after I showed Dad the success of it, he's now like full on. Like every day, he's like, he calls me every day to go, what are the numbers like? What's the Kickstarters? How's the wish list? I've told all my friends. So we're going to find a way to get this, like, to get the ball rolling, basically. So, but we'll see. Tuesday, as I said, is a big day. And then obviously the only other thing that is sort of an issue is the money, because, like, when you're spending thousands, sometimes some of the invoices were thousands, and it's like you go, am I doing the right thing? Like, am I doing the right thing that I'm spending this money now, and then in a year's time or 3 years time or 2 years time, I'm going to have, I'm going to have hopefully a repayment, hopefully. So Courtney's just said something that's interesting. They said most people are risk averse, so you have to take that into account when taking advice. And what's interesting is, as I said, the fact that I have ADHD is one of those things. It makes you take risks. It is. And you know what's funny? One of the most supportive people, and I can tell you like how this progressed. And people actually will probably remember this, because we went to TMC together, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
TMC had a big get together, and it got a lot of the social media together. And I spoke to Amy, and I said to Amy, look, I've been working on this thing. I'm thinking about doing this. Is this something that you would play? And are you interested in it? And she went, I am in. So that was, you get two people with ADHD together that both have no sort of like danger setting. And to be fair, she said, look, I'll, like, if you do it, I'll help share it on her platform, which obviously is huge. So I know she's putting a post out on Tuesday, which obviously will be a massive help. But that was the defining moment. So I'd been doing it for months before that, but the defining moment where I went, I am actually going to do this, was then. Like, I remember as clear as anything. We were sitting outside TMC, we're having pizza, and we were sitting at a table. Do you remember the pizza? It was a good pizza. And I thought, oh, you know, it wasn't good enough for you, apparently.
When was this?
It was at the TMC event.
Yeah, but when? Last year?
Yeah, last year. Yeah.
Last summer. Yeah. No, I don't remember eating pizza.
Oh, yeah, the pizza van.
A year ago. Oh, yeah, I remember the pizza van. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
But yeah, so when you have two people that have no danger setting, like, next to each other, maybe something crazy or the worst thing ever will happen. Is the honest answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of how that's like started. The only other thing, I was hesitant to say this, and I was actually so Rachel is just to Rachel was totally fine with me saying this is actually what happened, because you might think, why would someone who has a coral farm? I love my job. It's like most of the time it's great. And most people don't know. It's Alex obviously knows. So my girlfriend, some people have met, is diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, and the NHS here will cover some of the medication to keep it under control, but you can get an injection which other people have. I actually know 2 people have it, and it completely fixes you. It's called biologics, but it is £1,000 a week. And
a week
is £1,000 a week. Yeah. So this is actually how this is why I started it. So
you need to sell more corals, mate.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what it was. I thought to myself, I am never going to be able to like provide that. And there was something inside me, like, it's hard to describe, like, broke, because I have never wanted, I don't really want things. I think you will agree that I don't really want things. I don't buy anything, do I? I don't have any desire to have things. Whereas you're like a new camera. So I think it's like, it might be a male thing, where I thought to myself, I'm with someone and I can't provide what I need. And that got me thinking. I was like, well, what can I do? And I remember as clear as anything. I was sitting on the floor packing corals, and I was watching on TV, and I was watching, there were 2 things I watched. One was about, who owns Virgin?
Richard Branson.
Richard Branson, yeah. One was about him, and the other one was about someone making a game. And I thought, I added up how much you would need to give for Rachel to have the medication for the rest of her life, and it is millions. And I thought, I'm never going to make millions selling coral, ever. Yeah. No, there's not a chance. I don't even believe the people at Worldwide Corals make millions. Although if you look at today's Coral of the Week, maybe they do.
There's some news on that later, but
yeah. Anyway. And that's what triggered something inside me to go, right, well, I know I need to make this. And I started working backwards, and you go, well, what can you do? Like, you could write a book, because look at J.K. Rowling. She's made billions. But I thought, well, I'm not sure I can do that. And that's basically what happened. Yeah. So I worked backwards, and hopefully, as I said, hopefully it will work. Sometimes people need to have some form of stressor on to realize what they can do. And that's exactly what happened. So that's the story of how the game, and as I wouldn't have said anything if Rachel wasn't fine with talking about it. She actually quite likes talking to people, just because like it makes awareness about it. But yeah, that's it. So
okay. So there's your motivation.
Yes, that's my motivation.
So that's why you randomly decided to start making a game, basically.
That is exactly why I randomly started making a game.
So I've got a list of questions, and I've just been ticking them off because you've kind of been answering them without me asking.
That's all right.
Which is classic.
It's better to do it like that, because it just flows easily, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'll save these for when I'm on the Tonight Show in years to come, and they'll be like, tell me what Ryan was like when he was younger, and I'll be like, well, do you know what? I've got my anecdote. So this is, how long have you been working on it? Quite a while.
Well, obviously TMC was, I think it was
May
April, last year.
Yes.
So I think it's about December was when I first had the idea. And that was when I started to, not properly, not like just side
December 2024.
Yes. Yeah. So it wasn't properly, it was starting some of the character ideas, the character designs, who's going to be. I actually love doing this, because each character has to have a different personality, a different look. Some of them like each other, some of them don't like each other. They have different motivations. Yeah. And I remember, so Jamie said to me once, ages ago at the very beginning, he went, "What in your house? I would love to be a fly on the wall, because you're talking about these imaginary people. These people don't exist, but you'll be saying to Rachel, oh, look, what about this for this? And what about this for this?" And it's like, I'm quite creative, and it's quite like, it's and you start with one, and at the very beginning it's slow. You're like, oh, one day I'll put a pirate in it, yeah, and what do we call her? We call her this or whatever, and then bit by bit, and then you might not work on it for a few days, and then what happens is it becomes almost an obsession, and you build this like world, and you don't know what you're going to create at the beginning. So in the end, how the game works is you restore an island. There's you collect coral from the wild, you put it into tanks, you stress test the coral for heat and pollution, and then some of that coral will survive, and the coral that does survive, you then breed it and put it back into the wild where it can survive. Now the wild also is dynamic, so the temperature goes up and down. So some of the coral you put back might not survive depending on if it gets too hot. The other part of it is that there are all these islanders, and there's a smuggler there, and people are working. One of the islanders, who you don't know who it is working with the smuggler to basically make things worse. And the other thing that you can do, Alex is like, I need a beer to listen to this.
No, I'm still going.
The other thing, the game is all about choices. So there is like a wealthy business person, and you can take money from this person if you want to, and there is a percentage chance that what will happen is you can take that money and nothing happens, so you benefit from it. But there's also a chance that there will be an oil spill, for example, which you then spend days cleaning up. So some people will be like, yeah, it's worth that risk, and some people are like, nah, stay away from that guy.
ADHD
So you see,
will take the risk. Non-ADHD won't take the risk.
Basically, yes. So I would take the risk every time. But it's hard to explain exactly how detailed and all the little nuances in it. For example, there's parts of lots of games is a collection thing, and one of the things that people are collecting in the game is like relics in the ocean. And one of the relics I put on there is a stopwatch, and the time on the stopwatch is 20 minutes past 2, and that is the time that the Titanic sank. So it's like there's lots of these little Easter eggs that you put in. And my nan is going to be in, like, loads of people asked to be in the game, loads of people, but the only person I've actually put in the game is my nan. So, and Rachel's dog's in the game because Rachel wanted a dog in the game.
I saw the dog, the little Dash.
Rachel's dog, and Amy was the one who asked for a mantis shrimp because she obviously just likes mantis shrimp. So
right, what can I get out of this? What can I have? Box fish? Or... you've already put me in it, haven't you?
Well, I have. Have I put you in it?
Well, there's a bald bloke, so I'm claiming. Yeah, but I'll be in years to come. I'll be like, oh, that was.
Yeah, but like that's definitely there is a bald person in the game, yes, and Alex is going to be like, that's me.
I was his inspiration.
But yeah, so it's the one thing I will say to people that are listening is if you think that you can do something, or you think that there's this idea that like niggles away at you. And it may very well be setting up a coral farm, which, probably shouldn't encourage that. But it's give it a go. Like, give it a real go. Don't give it a go like you've thought about it for an afternoon. If you really, and the other thing is, like, tell people, because what happens is once you tell people, you are then committed. Yeah. Like, they are the people around you that hold you accountable. So, and that's part of what I did. Like when I told my parents and they said don't do it, and I was like, well, I'm doing it now. So, and I'm doing it, and I'm going to show you like that I can make this work. So if there's as I said, there's lots and lots. I'm trying to make it detailed, interesting, lots of Easter eggs, little things that like 99% of people won't notice, but one person will be like, I know that's the time of the Titanic. And then you have like a little description that says the watch appears to have stopped at a strange time. So it gives people a clue.
You. I wouldn't have got that in a month of Sundays.
You wouldn't have got that, but you might Google it and go, what is like if you Google stopwatch 2:20, I guarantee you the Titanic stopwatch comes up.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because I've tried it. So that's what people will do. And once what people like with games is they like depth, and they like those things.
Sure.
So people go, actually, they've put some thought into this. So I can't remember the last time I was this energized about a live stream. Everyone's fallen asleep. But and the other thing as well, so the other thing that is sort of fish related, there's plenty of stuff that's not fish related, is the corals are in the ocean. They need to, you can look after them manually. This is actually all based on actual science and what people are doing.
I was going to say that the heat resistance thing, that's what happens.
That is exactly what's happening. These are obviously the corals. So basically, there's like a mini game where these things like fluctuate the salinity and calcium, alkaline, magnesium. I think I understand that we understand that. I might simplify that system so it just says nutrients and elements. But what happens is that all the time they drop. So you have to go back to like top them up, because it's like spinning plates. People have to keep thinking about things while doing other things.
If this game is easy, it'd be boring. So it's got to be.
Yes,
when I say easy, depth is the word. There's got to be more layers to it.
So the next thing, and again, I pick things from like my life and what reality. So the reason that the clip of the fish is the Moorish idol was because that section was made after I got the Moorish idol. So what happens is people will breed fish to repopulate the reef, and the reef. This is true in the wild. People go out and clean the algae off some of the wrecks. I don't know how often they do it, and I can't imagine it's particularly efficient. But they do it. There's somewhere in Indonesia they're doing it, and they use a toothbrush. So the player has to do that at first, otherwise the coral dies. To progress through the game, you then can breed fish and put them on the reef. So if you breed a yellow tang, it will eat the algae for you.
Yeah,
and then you don't have to do that day. You can get a Moorish idol to do that, but it also might eat the coral.
Yeah.
So, and there are fish in the game which will eat the coral, which is exactly like parrotfish, which is what happens in Florida. Like scientists put a load of coral out, going, "Oh, this is great. We've just repopulated this reef," and then the parrotfish came along and ate them all.
6 months of work. Like that.
Yeah. So then you have other fish that stop that from happening. Like there's things to keep them away, or octopus and things like that. That everything has like this progression. So I can't wait for you to play this, Alex, because when it comes out, you will play it, because I'll give it to you. And I'm like, I can see how long, because it tells me how long people play it for. So I will be able to see how, if you're like 5 minutes in, I'm like, no, Alex, I put years into this. I want you to do at least 3 hours.
To be fair, when I was younger, I used to play games a lot, like Sega Mega Station, all that lot. You know, I was all over it. I started with a Master System, Mega Drive, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, the works. So I used to play games a lot. I used to love this sort of thing, and this kind of game would have been right up my street. So yeah, I'll give it a crack.
There's plenty of other things in it, like with rescuing animals, and then you have to go, like you have to catch fish to feed the birds, and you have to, like for example, in the trailer, there's a thing where you collect the sap from mangroves to create bandages to heal things, and then you return them to the wild. So there's lots and lots going on, but I think that the coral and fish section is probably what this audience is most interested in.
Because you got bees and volcanoes.
Oh yeah, there's well, it's about creating. Someone in the comments put the best comment on the YouTube video, and I didn't think this. There's 2 people in full like heat resistant suits, isn't there? And then the player that goes up in just shorts and flip flops, and he wrote something like, "Nah, I don't need a heat resistant suit. I'm happy in shorts, bud." And I was like, "That's true. I didn't think about that." Now, what you can do, see, even that comment made me realize something. You can now keep that area out of the game until the person gets a heat-resistant suit. So there's lots of things where there's slow incremental progression, and the slow, and it makes it basically what it does. It gives people dopamine. There's small incremental progression. You feel good when it happens, and then so that's it basically. That's that section. I would say.
I'm gonna rage bait you now.
Okay.
Because there's I know this is a question that you've got asked all the time. So I'm just get up a character. All these pixel art things. Are these all just generated by AI?
No, not a single one. That's why it's so expensive. That is why it's so you know the answer to this.
It worked. You're like, no.
I was like, why are you asking that question? I work with an amazing artist, like unbelievable. Like everything that I ask of him is just phenomenal. If you look, I'll be honest with you, when I first started this, I was like, right, let's see if I can do the art myself. I cannot do the art myself. Yeah,
No.
I have pictures. The one picture that Rachel said you should have sent to Alex because I forgot
I want
to send
that.
because we both tried it and it was terrible.
Yeah.
It's a skill. It's like painting with a paintbrush. It's like, or drawing with a pencil. You can either do it and you can get slightly better, or you are an expert. And the guy is very, now obviously it's pixel art, so it's meant to be like that. So some people are like, oh, why don't you use that as a graphics? Why don't you do 3D and amazing and like, and I'm just like, no, this is what I want. I want this style. It's nostalgic for me because that's what I had as a kid.
What you should have done, and I've just realised what I should try to get in the game. What you should have done is, so when I set up Reef Dork, I wish I hadn't called it Reef Dork. I hate that name now, secretly. Anyway, when I set up the channel, I wanted it to be like 8-bit, like pixel art, that sort of thing. So I designed my own pixel art fish. So this is the Reef Dork logo. I made.
Oh, you did that, did you?
Yeah, I copied it. So I got a picture of an Addis butterfly.
How much do you cost?
I know, exactly. It took bloody ages though to do that, and I got it right, and like getting the colours right was a pain. But it was a pain. And then I tried to do something more advanced. I set up the motorbike channel, and I tried to do a motorbike one, and that's still my logo to this day. But it was rubbish. It's really difficult. But anyway, but the reason I asked you that question is because it's that sort of thing. Because not everybody hates it. Most people hate AI.
Yeah.
And people don't like AI slop in particular.
Yeah.
So when some new AI slop comes out, people instantly, if they think it's AI, they're like, I hate it. I don't want it. Just out of principle, they want to hate it.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that AI can make pixel perfect artwork. I don't think that's actually possible. It has something called mixels. So mixels is where like all the pixels are meant to be exactly the same size, and mixels is where they blend multiple into one thing. So it's different colors. So it can't actually make it might be better now. Obviously, it's getting better all the time. So, but I don't think it's possible. Interestingly about the artist. So when I first started this, and this is to some extent talking to the people that are interested in doing something. I sat down, I said, look, I don't know what I'm doing like with this. So what do I need to know? Like, how do I do this? Yeah. And I remember thinking like, I can do like some of this, and like Rachel can do coding, and like some of the coding is actually like quite basic. So like a lot of the items is just copying and pasting the coding, if you see what I mean. So it's like, it's not, if someone does one of them, you can then replicate it over and over again, so that the person who did the one can focus on the main things, and then you could do some of the other stuff. And I thought, actually, there's another person I must mention, which is the person who did the sound. I'm gonna write that down because I will tell you what happened with that as well. So I was thinking, I went, oh, well, I can't do this because I can't do the artwork. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I went, wait a minute, someone else can do the artwork. So I went onto Fiverr and I went through a few different people, and there's a guy, and the artist actually, he lives in Slovakia, so it's actually a long like it's obviously not it's not down the road basically. And what I am going to do, if the Kickstarter is successful, I am either going to go and meet him or in Slovakia, or I'm going to fly him here. Because I actually would like if he's willing to come, I would like him to meet like me in person, and I'd also like him to meet the sound guy as well. What I'm saying is there was a barrier, and I just thought, what can I do to break this barrier down? And I started thinking, and I was like, well, like I'm just terrible at this. I was like, just terrible. So, and you can just, if you really want something, it's really important, you have the right motivation, you can get through anything that you need to do. And trust me, along this process, there's been tons of things that have been really difficult really complicated. Even setting up the store page on the website, like you have to learn so much. Even doing on the Kickstarter, you have to have graphics, and then you have to learn how to do Canva to make interesting graphics and stuff like that. So it's, if this fails, and I don't regret it at all, because, and this is speaking to the people that might want to do something. The reason I regret it is because I have loved every single minute. I have loved every minute of doing this. And I actually think that this might be my thing. This might be the thing that I go, like, the problem with the corals is that that's my hobby, if you see what I mean. And when you turn your job into a hobby, you lose that. That's why I don't sort the water box out, because I do it all day. It's my job.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, if I turn this into my job, this could be my hobby again. But I don't think that I would get rid of the coral farm, because I love it. I do love it. I would just, the thing that it becomes, there's less pressure, because you don't have to struggle to, like, you don't have to like go, I have to earn this much money every single time. You can enjoy it more, if you see what I mean. So that's yeah, I think I went off track.
So on that point, I've always liked the idea. So Lara's got, my Mrs. Reef-Talk's got a friend who lives.
That is the first time you've ever mentioned her name, I think.
It's not.
You always call her Mrs. Reef-Talk.
You've said that exact thing before. But anyway, Mrs. Reef-Talk, she's got friends, can't remember where they live, but they live like half an hour from us. And on the way to them, on the site, like in the middle of nowhere, like it's nice countryside, there's this like abandoned, it's like a barn warehouse. It was probably like a dairy, like a cattle house or something. And every bloke who you talk to about it is like, I'd love to turn that into something. We've all got a plan. But my dream would be to I don't know, win the lottery or whatever, and then just set that up and just have frags in it. Just not because I want to sell them, because I want to make my own, just because I want to have a load of frags. So that's basically, that could be you could just grow whatever corals you want. You've got all the corals you like, and you know.
I would still be a business, because obviously there's what's the, like, but it just,
you need to have a purpose, don't you? But
that's the thing. You absolutely have to have a purpose. Even if this is really successful, you have to have a purpose, and that would be my purpose. I would expand the coral farm. If anything, I'd make it bigger. And you could, it would be, I would. That's exactly what
you've just reminded me of David Brent, because he's like, when there's a struggling salesman, he doesn't sell his car, does he? He gets a bigger car. Perception.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's it would be, it just, because at the moment, like, if someone sends me a message going, can I turn up at 10 o'clock tonight? I'm like, most of the time, like 10 o'clock is an exaggeration, but 9 o'clock, people come at 9. Actually, if people are collecting fish, sometimes they come at 10 or even like 11. But I always say yes, because I'm like, I want the money. I like it's important that I want the money. Whereas if it becomes like less intense, you can be like, actually, you know, why don't you just come tomorrow? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is, you can start playing around with things like spawning corals and stuff like that. You can start, it allows you the freedom to do the other things that you would love to do, but you don't have the time, or like, I haven't got the space to start spawning corals and things. But people do it all over the world now, so, and I don't think it's that difficult. So, it probably is difficult, but I think if you know what you're doing, it's probably not that difficult.
You'd move to Australia.
That's the other thing, and move to an actual island, and then restore that island and the reef around it. It could be like my real life. That's what games are about. They're about fantasy. They're about making people believe or live a different life. And lots of people wanted to be marine biologists. Lots of people like coral. So that's why I thought I'd do it.
There was a story in the news recently about a bloke. I can't remember the detail. I can't remember where this was, but there was this remote island. It was a tiny island. I don't know, 100 meters across or something. It was small. But this guy bought it and completely restored it, like Tideborne Haven. Covered it in trees, and then someone offered him like 100 million to buy it.
He turned it down.
Exactly, to make hotels or whatever, or put a hotel on it. And he was like, no, I like that it's got trees on it.
Yeah.
And I love that. That is the dream.
that was so how this came about from all different forms of inspiration. And that guy That exact video was what was part of this inspiration.
Yeah, okay.
And part of me wants to have him on the island in some capacity as
Okay.
a little like nod, but I don't. He's currently not, and I'd have to change one of the existing characters. And I know which one I would change because I have like a very reclusive lighthouse person.
Don't change the ball guy. I'm
No,
staying.
I
in
won't
there.
change the ball guy. Don't you
take him away
worry.
from me.
He's going to be wearing a little RD t-shirt as well.
Yeah.
So
If I get the Addis butterfly in, I'm happy. You and actually, do you know what? You can use my
Addis butterflies are in the game.
I'm gonna take.
You're going to claim that was
I'm
you.
gonna take
Wasn't
credit
you?
for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Is this Ryan's game? Yes, it is. So there are a couple more questions. What feedback have you had about this so far? Has it gone down well?
Well, obviously, I kind of we mixed it around, but yeah, like so, it's far exceeded my expectations. Is the honest answer. So someone else on put out a game. It was a different sim. It's very different. It's actually a game about managing a motel. So it's still like a managing game. It's not quite this. It's not quite as like. And I think in the same, they released their game a couple of days earlier than me, and they have 187 wish lists. And obviously, I'm on 24,000. So. And most people never get more than like people struggle to get 5,000. The goal is 7,000. So I think that it's far exceeded my expectations. It touched me emotionally. I'll be honest with you. It literally, because as I said, imagine doing something for so long with so much stress and so much, and to then go, actually people like this, and all of a sudden you go, this wasn't a shit idea. That's literally the feeling that you get. You go, this isn't terrible.
Well, now, Amy talked about something last week. She said that like when like normally her regular followers will comment, everyone's nice, everyone's friendly, and when it's only when a video goes viral, when you get exposed to people you don't know, that you get maybe more honest feedback, or
true feedback.
Exactly, yeah. And so that's interesting because this you probably got a few hundred people who are reef keepers who are subscribers, maybe even who follow the journey, but 99.99% are not. So this is a whole new world. So you're getting feedback from people who don't know you.
No one knows me on there.
You're not even listed on there, you know, for most of the time. You don't link, you don't say I am Prestige Reef. No one cares.
I purposely wanted that. Because I didn't. It sounds like a weird thing to do, but only yesterday was the first time I think that I've actually properly put it onto my channel to say, look, can you help me out here? But I did that for a very specific reason. I wanted to know an accurate representation of the people that are reserving on the wish list. I wanted to know an accurate representation of people who sign up to the Kickstarter. Because if all of a sudden I go, can everyone just go on the Kickstarter and there's 2,000 people on there, but then no one's actually interested in the game, they're not, the value isn't the same, if you see what I mean. There's people who go, I want this, I will buy this now.
But that's what I'm saying earlier. When you're saying please go and sign up, all this sort of stuff. Of course, it's great because it helps you, and that's the sort of thing that you would want to do. But actually, this is equivalent to someone who's setting up a new reef tank, and they're going, "Oh, I'm gonna put my UV up to 47% from 45 because I think that's going to make the difference." And then my temperature is currently 25.2. I'm going to make that 25.4. Yeah, that's the sort of thing. What you've actually done already, the base work, that is what's going to make the difference, and that's everything. All these last things aren't going to affect it because you've already done the hard work effectively.
100%. The other person I wanted to shout out is the person who does the who does the sound. Now, the reason I wanted to, I think this is a valuable lesson. He does listen to the live streams. I know that because that's how he contacted me. I don't know if he's listening right now. If he is listening, you can say hello. But the reason I wanted to shout out is because he did something that a lot of people don't do. So he's actually at university and he's working on sound design.
Yep.
And he sent me an email, and he doesn't know this story. So he sent me an email, and it was just after I finished the live stream. I think I must have mentioned it on the live stream ages ago, just once. He sent me an email saying, Hi Ryan, I work in sound design. I love what you have done. You've helped me with your reef tank. I'm paraphrasing. It probably wasn't like you're just wonderful, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He said, look, you've helped me with reef keeping. I want to help you. I would like to do the sound for you for free. Because I am a student. I am unproven. You have no idea who I am, and I need to get something under my belt, if you see what I mean. And my first response was, actually, this is what he doesn't know, was I don't know who this person is. Do you see what I mean? And this is my baby. I'm like, you're going to give a voice to my baby, and I have no idea if you're good or anything. Like, imagine if someone said to you, "Oh, Alex, I'll come look after your reef tank this weekend," and you're like, "Who is this guy?" But and I thought to myself, well, because originally I was just going to hire it. Like, I was going to go on to Fiverr again. And then I thought, actually, I don't really have anything to lose. And he was brilliant, and he's being looked after. So, like, I think don't like. He knows this as well. He said, "Look, let me do the early bit for free, just to." And I said to him, "Look, when the Kickstarter's a success, I will look after you. And even if the Kickstarter is not a success, like, he will be looked after." Yeah. So, but there's two things. That firstly, offering to do something for free is very rare. I know he's doing it because he wants it on.
It's experience, and actually, to be fair, if this did go well, he can say, "Hey, I was the sound guy for Tideborne Haven."
Of course, that's true. And the thing that I love, and I send it back to him over and over again, every time someone puts the sound is amazing, I send him a message or a screenshot of that going, like, you did this. Why are you zooming in on me?
Sorry, I was trying to press mute.
Oh, I send him a message going, look, you did this. So it's sometimes the reason I've mentioned this is for two things. Firstly, sometimes if you put yourself out there, it works. And sometimes if you take a chance, it works way better than you ever expected. And what's interesting, since I put the trailer out, I have had probably more than 50 people, definitely at least 50 real sound design composers, like composers. Yeah, that's it. Saying, I want to work with you on this game. And every single one of them I've said, I'm not interested. Like, because my loyalty is to him. Because I and don't get me wrong, there'll be times potentially where I might have to work with someone else because he's at university, he's doing his master's degree, he needs to focus on what he's doing. So there might be someone else that will help. Same with the person who does the artist. I might there's actually there's another person who I absolutely love the work that he does. And it's similar, and I just think, well, if I'm like, you need an extra person, then they can work together. But that's what happened. So I'm now incredibly defensive of this person because, like, and again, I actually haven't met him. He's only like, I think, an hour and a half away. But I sent him a message yesterday or today, can't remember. It was yesterday, just saying I'm gonna, once the Kickstarter's done, I'm gonna come meet you, because I want to like do it properly. So
cool.
So
take him.
Look after the people that look after you. It's very important as well. So
what are you doing for me? Because I gave you the idea of the Addis butterfly. So
that's true. You're going to be well looked after. You basically like deserve loads.
This is my idea, basically.
Yeah. Like, to some extent, like, even the fact that you have allowed this on your channel is a big deal for me. I know you're saying no. You're like, we could talk about boxfish, but
no. What I'm saying is this won't make an ounce of difference. But
you think that. But what I might do is I actually might take this video and I might edit the start and end off the video and then re-upload it to the Tideborne YouTube channel, just because I know they won't be interested in the reef keeping side, but I actually think I've actually been able to describe quite a lot of it. And I think
this is what we should do is, and I said this before, we should do, because I tried recently, I said when all this fish care guide that we've started doing, right?
Yeah.
I put a couple of them into the editing software, and I was like, well, let's edit this into like a 20-minute video, and then there's a 20-minute care guide on yellow tangs, for example.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work. It's just like that nobody would watch it, even if you were desperate to know about yellow tangs, you wouldn't watch it. It's rubbish. But what we should do is a video, a YouTube, an interview, a proper interview where I interview you and we do a proper YouTube video. I edit it together, so it's not got pulsing xenia around the edge. It's not got a comment section, all that. So it looks, because this is not designed. I've not set this live stream
I know what
to
you
make
mean.
that, so this is his own
the
thing.
problem with that is I just wonder if I will have the same passion. It's like, this is impromptu. I had no idea. I had no idea what I was going to tell you. What I know, there was questions and stuff. But I remember at the beginning it was just like this, just reaming out, and we covered some of the questions.
But you can do the same thing. You can do the same thing, and if I send it to you and you're like, no, it's too staid, then delete it and it never gets made. But don't if you're going to do it, don't clip this. It won't work.
Okay, I need all of the help that I can get, trust me. And I hope that some people have been inspired by this to go, if you click a like on the video, or if you sign up to the Kickstarter, or and I saw that, I saw that earlier. All of it makes a difference. I want this to be to get people to help you, you have to bring people with you on the journey. And hopefully some people will have seen this tonight and gone, actually, I'll click a like on his video, because it's like nothing clicking a like on a video, but the algorithm's like, oh yeah, I like. So you see what I mean? I'll put a comment for the algorithm. One of the things I actually think made a massive difference is very early on the first trailer video, someone wrote, this game looks amazing, something like this. I'm commenting here for the algorithm. And I pinned that post and I wrote, this man knows how to make you feel appreciated. And that has had hundreds of likes. And I think that generated more people commenting, because then you start seeing lots of people going, I'm doing this for the algorithm. I'm doing this for the algorithm.
Yeah.
So, and it builds momentum. So, as I said, every little helps. Every like, every share, every follow, anything. I know Alex was saying it doesn't make a difference, but to me it does.
It's the cherry on top of the icing on the cake. And actually, the things like, so people always, and I do the same. You always encourage people to comment on your videos because it does help. But the reality is, if you make a shit video,
it's not going to help. If you had a million things,
if you persuade a few hundred people to click like, it doesn't make a difference. But things like that, I think when that's organic and people say, because sometimes I watch a video that I absolutely love and I'll post a comment, either literally comment for the algorithm or thank you for making this or whatever, and that does make a difference, because that is one of the ways that YouTube knows that a video is actually worth showing people. So that sort of thing is brilliant.
Yeah, and it actually is motivation for you as well. One of the most time-consuming things, I kid you not, I look so often that it actually has given me a problem with my neck. That's not a joke or exaggeration. Every time a message comes in, because it's so personal at this moment, so fragile and so raw, immediate, it's and sometimes it was coming in every single minute as someone was commenting on that video. So from looking down at my phone, it has given me a bad neck. So Merlin's just done the Kickstarter. Thank you. Actually,
what you should do, by the way, so I talked about doing a video with me. Do one with Harry, because he's actually good at making videos.
That's true. He doesn't realize he just signed up to something.
Exactly, and he makes videos the way I think. Oh, that would be cool. But
the way you think you can make videos.
No, the way I would like to. I just don't have the talent for it. So,
as I said,
that'd be really good.
I know you said earlier you'll do it. I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. That's not me going, I don't know. I have no idea if this will work in terms of the Kickstarter on Tuesday.
So the Kickstarter starts on Tuesday.
It starts on Tuesday. I know that Kickstarter is very, very much if all of a sudden a load of people come on and start and do it on the first day, it then goes, right, this is something big. We will share it to. They will pay, I believe, because you see their adverts. They will advertise Kickstarter, but with your project. So if you've got this massive company,
Yeah.
not going we're Kickstarter, come and have a look, they're going we're Kickstarter, look at this. So that's what I need, because they will share it with millions of people potentially. So it's sorry, you had said something, and that I interrupted you halfway through.
Of course you did, because that's what you do.
That is what I do. What were you saying?
But I can't even.
You can't remember because that's what you do.
Exactly.
But it's, oh, sorry.
So in terms of you would, I think so. It runs for Kickstarter runs for a month, right?
Yes.
What happens after that? A month and 1 day later, do I get the game? How does it work?
So no. So on Kickstarter, there's various tiers that you can have. Some people, what I've done with Kickstarter is I've copied exactly what other people who have had successful Kickstarters have done. So what some people will allow you to make a character, but it costs plenty of money because there's thousands of, like, the dialogue for an extra character is insane, and all the different animations. So like, I think there was another game. It was $5,000 if you wanted to have a character, but 7 people bought it. Isn't that insane? So
that is madness. If you've done that on a Kickstarter for a game,
I've done it.
Need your head checked.
As in, I've not paid it, but
you haven't.
I've done I've have it as an option, because all of these there's about 6 other ones. They've all got it and they were all successful. I'm trying to do this on my own, is the difference. So all of these big games had publishers. And publishers have huge, like, financial marketing.
How to do it. Yeah,
they know how to do it. They have huge marketing, big email lists of people. They know all of the social media people to go, look, this game's coming out. Come on, there's some cash. Can you help us out? So
social media people get cash for promotion.
Well, not in the reef keeping world, I tell you. So they have done it, and they have got to the audience. But the problem is, a publisher takes between 20 and 50% of your profits.
Jesus.
Insane. And it depends on, obviously, how much they... And the other thing is Steam takes 30%, and the taxman takes 20%. So
you get nothing. Yeah.
So think about it.
That's up to 100, yeah.
So I don't think it quite works.
No,
I
know.
But it is like it's... I don't want to have to work with a publisher, because imagine working on something for years and years. And I just thought to myself, what can they actually do that I can't do, if you see what I mean? Like, other than having this big mailing list and all these YouTubers and stuff.
They give you, but it's about adding value, and they do add value, and they know how this works.
Yes.
And so they've got that knowledge, and they might do things. There might be a dozen things that you've not thought of at all that are just standard things that you need to do, that they would do, that would help you get the platform. But 50%.
I know. Look, that's why so I've watched countless videos on this to learn things.
Yeah.
Videos on Kickstarter, videos on games, all the different people, like, just every. The funny thing is, when I'm at the gym, like, I have how to make a game, how to make a Kickstarter, and I will literally listening while I'm at the gym, work, like, and sometimes I'm like so into the video, I'm like, I'm just going to do more working out. It's not working. And sometimes I'm just sitting there, just like, people are like, can we use that equipment? I'm like, no, I'm busy. But I have it on in the background. Some of these videos I watch again and again. So I know that Kickstarter is all about having a big following at the beginning to give it a push, and that will Kickstarter will give it a push, and then your social media will give it a push. So it's like, I've learned a lot. So there will definitely be some. The one thing that I've not been able to get onto, there is a game company called IGN. They're like the Reef Dork of games. They I think they have 12 million followers on YouTube, and there's plenty of other very small games that they put trailers out about on. I contact them every day. Every day, because they have a thing saying, would you like us to share your game or whatever, like, would you like us to share your content every day? So what I need everyone to do, it doesn't take long, go onto IGN and say, I want to watch Tideborne video on your account. Because if I get on there, that's what the publishers do. They know IGN. And it's like there's this door that I cannot break down.
It's funny. There's so the thing you're talking about, like watching all the videos and all this sort of stuff and obsessing. You're describing the way I was with YouTube 7-8 years ago,
And
so,
probably reef keeping.
yeah, maybe not to such an extent, to be fair. Yeah, maybe, but I got a comment this week on my video went up on Friday, and he said something like, um, "You used to be funny." What happened?
It's true.
What happened to the funny videos that we used to love, or something like that?
Yeah.
And he was absolutely right. So my videos did used to be, I used to make an effort to make them funny.
Yeah.
But I just tapped like and I just moved on because there's nothing. I'm not going to.
Oh, poor guy.
No, well, but I think he wasn't having a pop or anything. He was just saying. I think he was just like giving me feedback. But you'd be there are two things about that. Firstly, you'd be surprised how much effort and energy it takes to make a video funny. It sounds stupid because funny is just natural, right? But it actually takes time going back. Writing the script and then going back, oh, what kind of change all this sort of stuff. But also, it's about being in the zone, in the right frame of mind. You often talk about like the creative process, and you've got to be in the right frame of mind, all that sort of stuff. You are in the zone for that. You can tell from the way you're thinking about everything all the time. So that's why you're doing it. You're putting so much effort into it.
It is an obsession, and the funny thing was, probably about 8 months in, I thought to myself, if the Kickstarter doesn't work, I'll just go without, like, not enough people were interested, so I just won't do it. And then it's funny because like 5 months after, I'm like, there is not a chance that I won't let this happen. It's become like everything to me, like everything. So it's
So the Kickstarter will go for a month, and then the game will get made. It's not like there's a fixed timeline of when the game will be finished.
So basically, that's why I was talking about the tiers. So some people want to be part of the process, so they will actually pay for early access, where they can be the one that plays all the bugs, all of the thing, and they give you feedback. They go, "Oh, this character needs to be faster. You need like some of the things that people have already said is so useful." Some people will be like, "Oh, you need to have a save setting at this point rather than this point," which other games do, and everyone complains about it. So some people want to be part of that process. And then there's some people want to be part of the next stage, which is the more polished version. And then some people only want the actual game. Now, obviously, lots and lots of things can happen in life, but we are on track, I would say. It should be the end of next year is when it will come out. So
2027.
The end of 2027.
Christmas present 2027. Right, okay.
That's basically the aim. I want to be around Christmas. I want it to be part of the Christmas thing. There's a lot of moving like cogs, but that is what we're aiming for. So that's like that's it.
It's so funny to me that people really want to be involved in beta testing.
I
get asked to do beta testing quite regularly for various things in reefing, and I just don't. I'm like, that's work. Why? Why would I want to play with something when it's rubbish? But people love it.
The other thing to mention, so there's a Discord server now as well. So people love to be part of the process. And one of my customers, his wife has like taken that on as her like little project, and she's brilliant at it, like talking to people, getting like setting up and everything. And again, that's part of like people going, I want to be part of something, like I want to be part of this. So and like I don't know if they're listening. I know they used to listen, but they might actually listen for this because obviously it's about the game. But yeah, so lots of people are like, it's almost like they're going, this could be something. I want to be part of this thing and help it grow and nurture it. And as I said, I need all the help I can get. So,
well, on that note, then, is there anything else that you want to preach?
No, that's it. Basically, as I said, if you can sign up to the Kickstarter, I know I've said it a few times. Just clicking the follow thing helps. If you actually, quite a few customers have actually said, "I want to play this game," or "I want to." That's even better. And if you are gonna do it, do it on the first day, because that's the day that matters the most.
Yeah.
And if it's not for you, then I understand. So some of my customers are like, I'm never going to play this. I'll never play this game. But because I watch you on YouTube, you sit here for 2 hours every week and I'm entertained by this. And some people just want to be part of the process. They go, yeah, I'll help you out. So and I appreciate those people even more. So
happy days. Link in the description and link in the pinned comment. So thank you for your help, assistance, and all that lot.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Right, back into reefing. Now we have the news.
Oh, yeah, we got.
We're just completely in the zone. Like,
I was so in the zone. I forgot we've got the news and the Prestige Reef Fish of the Week and Coral of the Week. But if you have to skip those, we'll just use those next week.
we're gonna have to shelve those, I think.
Okay.
There is news, even though there's summer, which is mad, which is great. But the two pieces of news are, first off, there was, I think we mentioned this the other day in the news. Red Sea is now the distributor of Prodibio. Yeah, I've got that right.
Yeah.
So Prodibio looked like it was going to go bankrupt, and then I think
it did, but then they were bought out. They must have been bought out by Red Sea.
Red Sea's parent company bought it. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Prodibio is still going, and Red Sea made a video this week, which is this one. Red Sea. One of the things that Red Sea is very good at is marketing and explaining things, and this is the video. What's it called? Red Sea presents the Prodibio Essentials. Prodibio has been around for a long time, at least as long as I've been in the hobby, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's been 20 years. So it's been around ages, but nobody really knows what it is. And I talked to someone in the shop, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, and he was trying to explain what it was, but he was just using words like probiotics and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, mate, I am not a scientist. Tell me what it does to my tank. Does it make my corals better? And this video is the first time I've thought, oh, I understand that. I understand the science behind it because, Reef Dork.
Yeah.
But basically, there are a few products they do. They do one which is called Stop Ammo. And if you combine that with, what was the other one? There, Biodigest. That's your starter bacteria, basically. So when you're setting up a reef tank, it's got all those two between them have got all one of them is an ammonia binder, I think, and the other one is all your bacteria that what's it called, nitrosomus or whatever it is, your good friendly bacteria that you want. So one of them is your starter bacteria. Standard, I'm setting up a new tank, pour the bacteria in, job done, cycling it effectively. The other one is called Reef Booster, and that's omega-3 and essential microelements. Essential microelements is a bit vague, but omega-3 is coral food. Basically, that one, what's it called? Was that Biodigest? Reef Booster. That is coral food. Okay, so that will feed your corals.
Yeah.
And then the other two are for freshwater. So those are the ones you need to know about. The ones that they do say that the Reef Booster, which has got all the nitrifying bacteria, they do say you can use that as a maintenance dose in your tank. Some people love to do that. I personally think that's a waste of time. But anyway, that's what it is. And this is the first time I've seen a proper explanation. And it's actually a lot more simple than I thought it was in the past. It comes in these vials. You know those vials that they're like what are they called? Ampules. They're
like glass that you break them, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to cut yourself, but you think you will do. They come in that because that's sealed in oxygen-free argon, which means it will last for 5 years. So I think that's why they do it. The only thing I'll say with that video is it didn't talk about prices, and I guess that video is around for various countries and for various years. So there's no
why would you need it to last for 5 years?
Because then you can make 1,000 of them and then send them out to shops, and if they don't sell them,
I see. There's probably the process, the batch process. Yeah, okay.
That's what I thought. But yeah, exactly right. That's a fair question. There's no price on the video, but I guess you don't put prices in those videos for various reasons. But I had a look, and it doesn't appear to be available in the UK at the moment. But I found European pricing, and for the Reef Booster, which is the omega-3 stuff, which I think is the one that most people will buy, it is for 12 ampules. €19. So let's call that 20 quid.
Yeah.
£1.50 a throw. And that's one ampule is one. I don't really understand how it works in terms of quantity, because if you're buying that for a 100-litre tank or you're buying it for a 1,000-litre tank, you can't tell me that one ampule does both of them the same.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird. I think I need to explain that a bit. But anyway,
maybe that's the minimum size.
Yeah, maybe. It's quite expensive though. That's the one thing I did think, it was quite expensive. So I don't know.
That was the problem with it before.
Was it?
Yeah. It's probably more expensive now, the Red Sea part of it.
Exactly. But I don't know if this is supposed to be every day as well. but I can't see people doing this every day because it's a manual process.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
quite a satisfying thing to do. So maybe once a week or whatever. But anyway, that was the first time I've seen it explained properly. So if you want to know more about it, you can check out the Red Sea video. And the second one, and this is related to you, Ryan, eye-catching
Okay.
corals in the US. And eye-catching corals don't get much airtime in the UK because it's normally top shelf aquatics and worldwide corals.
Yeah.
But they've just hit a significant milestone. They've sold 250,000 frags that were completely 100% aquacultured.
That is a big milestone. I'd love to know how they keep track of that. Like, I assume it's just their sales system.
Yeah, I guess they've got a more. I mean, it's a big operation.
Yeah.
So they've probably got a sophisticated sales system. But the thing, even so, 250,000, that's a lot of homegrown corals, which is very impressive. But the thing that was more impressive about that is that by the end of next year, I think I said by December next year, they expect to have capacity for between 250,000 and 500,000 frags annually.
The market over there must be massive.
I mean, there's a lot more people, and I reckon the percentage of Americans that are into reefing must be higher than the percentage of Brits.
It has, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but there's some serious numbers there. But there you go, eye-catching corals, making and selling a lot of frags. I love that. So that's not putting anything out of the ocean, which isn't all bad. But if you wind forward 50 years down the line, are we still going to be importing corals?
Maybe not.
Probably not. But there we go. That is the news. And actually, it turns out we're not quite as close to the deadline as I thought I was. But anyway, I am going to wrap it up there.
Yeah.
So thank you all for watching, guys. And don't forget to click on the Kickstarter and just click follow.
It's in the description. It's not follow, it's actually notify of launch.
Notify of launch. And actually, I'm going to be away for the next 2 weeks, so there's going to be no live stream for 2 weeks. So Ryan, you can.
So you'll have no idea if it was successful.
I'll still have an idea if it's successful. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm like, Alex is successful.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Or I'm like, Alex, what are you doing? I need a beer.
Yeah. But cheers for watching, guys, and catch you in 3 weeks' time.
See you later.